Hello everybody and welcome back to part 9 of this playthrough for Khare, Seaport of Traps. In our last video, we've entered Upper Khare and rescued a mysterious prisoner. It's now time for us to carry on. As the road turns and heads roughly southeast once more, we run into a group of young orclings that are scurrying towards you. Select Wait for them to reach me. Hello, they pipe. 1 gold piece for our bellies? Their hands poke at you and push outwards, hoping for a donation. You know that this is a trick, and they'll probably keep asking for more and more money, so we're going to cast a trick of our own. Select Cast a Spell. And the spell we're going to cast is Dud. Select D, U, D, and cast. You cast the spell and piles of gold and treasure spill from the sleeves of your jacket and go all over the road. The orclings go instantly into a frenzy and collect as many as they can, running over each other and beating each other up. You take the opportunity to slip away. Select Continue and go to the flag, continue up the road. You continue up the road, leaving the chattering orclings behind you. After a short distance, you come across a large building made of stones and mortar. Select Look at the building. It stands alone inside its own patch of grounds, and, unusually, it seems to be in a state of good repair. A large L is carved on one side of the gatepost. For Lorag, perhaps? The main road continues straight past the house, but we're going to enter it. Select Continue and go to the flag, approach the house. Continue again and go to the flag, the front door. Select Knock. You knock on the door 3 times. After a short wait, an elderly man in a gown opens the door, with a strange spiky lizard creature winding around his legs. Yes, he demands? And who are you? You look a trustworthy sort. Select I'm a sorcerer like you. Well, he admits, sorcerers are not known for their social graces, certainly. He pats the lizard at his feet, clearly relaxing in your company. Select Please, I need your help. You certainly look like a drowning dog, he remarks coolly. I'm sorry to be rude. In this city you have to be careful. For every saviour you meet, there's a Vangorn waiting to slit your throat wide open. Please, will you come in? Select Thank you. The old man gestures for his spiny lizard pet to retreat. Step aside, Ericus, and let the stranger in. Select Continue and go to the flag, enter the house. The inside of the house is decorated with ornate hangings and numerous curious artifacts. The man turns to you. Before you enter further, please, hand me your weapon. Select Give him my sword. Come in then, he says, putting out his hand. My name is Lorag the Elder, and I am a scholar and a sage. And he gestures you further into the house. This way, please. Select Continue and go to the flag, follow Lorag. You follow Lorag into his study, and it's an elegant room, lined floor to ceiling with books. You think back to your time in the bathhouse, and decide to warn Lorag of the plot you overheard. Select I think I overheard a plot to kill you. You continue. In the bathhouse I heard 2 men discussing it. They were being paid by Sansis. Really? Lorag raises an eyebrow. Sansis is still after me then? I thought after I turned his last hitman into a hobbit she'd give up. Well, I appreciate the warning, but I won't be here for much longer. Unless, he adds after a moment's thought, You are an assassin yourself. Select, I'm not. You would say that, Lorag replies. Indeed, I don't think there is any way for me to be sure. I simply have to trust you. He looks quite unconvinced about the idea. The scholar's pet is winding around his leg. He ruffles its spine absently. There, Ericus, he murmurs. There's a good beast. Select look around the study. You glance around the shelves lined with hundreds of volumes on magic, maps, learning, weaponry, falconry, carpentry, and every other subject you can imagine. The only gap in the shelving is for a painting of a young man, Lorag himself perhaps, though it does not look like him, and the tag below reads Cristatanti. The old man seems to have a thought and goes over to a cupboard, taking out 2 glasses. Some wine while we talk? Select accept a glass. You nod your head and he pours you a glass. It is rich, delicately flavoured, and warms you to your gut. Select, ask about the North Gate. I am told you can help me open the North Gate. He looks seriously at you. You are on a mission, I see that, but is it a mission to destroy Khare, or to save it? You take a moment to think. You are on a mission to go get the Crown of Kings, but you also know about the goblins in the sewers and Sansa's plot, and you can't leave the people of Khare to be destroyed. Even if there is a city of thieves, they are still good people. Select, I will save it. I will save all the lands, you continue. I'm on a mission to retrieve the Crown of Kings. The scholar nods deeply. It is a good mission. For such a mission they would send a powerful fighter and a great sorcerer. Let me see. And he goes over to his bookshelf, returning with a paper folder. You know, of course, how magic comes into the world. Select, of course. He nods. Good. Then you'll understand what I'm about to show you. He opens the folder and spreads out several sheets of rough paper across his desk. They contain a pattern of strange symbols grouped in 3s. These were discovered, painted on the walls of the Dadule caves, he explains. I have paid handsomely to have them smuggled to me. Even the first noble of Khare does not know I have them, and if he did, his rage would be terrible. Do you know what they are? Select, tell me. He grins excitedly. They are spells, but not spells as we would have them. These were painted by cave people before the Dark Ages, over 3,000 years before Shalana discovered the crown. They perform the same magic because the stars have not changed, but as you can see, the spells themselves are different. See this one? And he draws out a sheet of paper on which the following pattern is drawn. Select, I can guess its effect. Go on, he replies with interest. Select, it's a spell of confusion. He looks at you with great interest. Perhaps you are indeed a great magician. That is quite right. I believe it is a spell of confusion, one that will muddle and befuddle any creature over whom it is cast. We know a similar magic now, but of course the incantation has changed. He moves the paper aside and brings out another, on which is painted the following symbol. What do you make of this one? Select, a spell of mind reading. Quite right, Lorag claps his hands. Well then, I see you are truly a sorcerer. Here then, is my puzzle. He reaches out another folder and opens it slowly and cautiously, as though its contents might try to bite him. Select wait. This spell was found inside one of the deepest caves, a place so old and ancient it had never been revisited since the time when these people set their home fires all across the Shamatanti hills. The painting beside it indicated that these were the most powerful, most terrible magic, but as you see, the spell is partly lost. You understand its meaning. On the page are drawn 2 symbols, not 3. The last symbol is unreadable. The scholar leans in urgently. A rockfall destroyed part of this picture, but dearly I wish to know, what was the last character? Select I believe I know. He nods, never taking his eyes from your face. He hands you a fresh sheet of paper and a quill. Draw it for me, he says. Select the second option, draw, and then the triangle shape. You hold the brush with an arm outstretched as you were taught, and you draw the symbol. The scholar considers for a long time, breathing through his thick beard. Then he nods deeply. Yes, I do believe you have it. He looks up. Do you know the spell? Select I know of it. I see you are truly a great sorcerer. This spell is one I've only heard rumour of. I have never seen the constellation that lies behind the magic, but this will help me in my search. Yes, I think it will help a great deal. He files away his pages, taking the one with your drawing on with particular care. Now, I may aid you in return. You wish to learn the spell for the North Gate. I don't mind giving you my line, although it is a secret to keep. Here it is. Tumblers 2 sealed deep inside. Select thank you. He nods. Please, before you go, follow me. He gestures across the room to a bookshelf lined with artifacts. Select continue. And go to the flag, follow him. You follow him across the room. He opens a drawer in a tall cabinet and pulls out something that looks like a shock of green fur. Put this on for me, if you would. I wish to try an experiment. Select what kind of experiment. Oh, it's quite harmless. Just a little thing I found in my calculations. I suspect it will not work. Select don't take it. I have to be going, you tell him, refusing his offer. Of course, he nods. Well, thank you for the company. He looks a little crestfallen. And please keep the wig. In this city, he says, sometimes the creatures you know more than the menfolk. This may be of use to you. Lorag shows you to the door, and you retrieve your sword as you go. Select continue, and go to the flag, leave the house. For those of you who are curious, Lorag's experiment is basically an attempt to enslave you by controlling your mind. You can counter it by casting the Yap or the Rap spell, but it's just easier just to refuse the experiment to begin with. When you're ready, click continue, and go to the flag, follow the road. And with that, that brings part 9 to an end. I'll see you all in the next video.